Oh, interesting. Well, hello there, everybody. I am Sobata92, aka Nightmare, and welcome to a very special Let's Play. We are going to be trying out the demo for a upcoming visual novel known as Beyond R, Rule Ripper. The developer reached out to me to ask if it would be okay if I could try this out, and honestly, after I saw the initial trailer, I was instantly intrigued. There will be a link to the description down below that will take you to the trailer for this particular novel. And honestly, I'm going to keep my thoughts about this. Well, I'll do my best to keep them, as well as you'd expect. I'm going to... Because, again, from what I saw of the trailer, this looks very interesting. I don't want to reveal too much right now. So, as you can see, this is an announcement demo. And, well, it's a demo. So, right off the bat, I already like how the options are hidden, or right above these little wine glasses. Already looks pretty good. Anyway, let me see the settings here. Ooh, I like this style. I like how this looks like a menu that you would get at a restaurant here. The Golden Jack. I will keep it as windowed, preferably. I'm sorry. Is that supposed to be like how much it's going to cost me just to get these options? If so, I already like it. Anyway, let's begin. This is a beta demo created as a sample for the future Kickstarter campaign. Therefore, its contents are subject to change. All shown character sprites are in their final version, but for now, each character has only one body pose, with a couple exceptions. Based on the money raised, each one will receive up to at least 3 poses. More than 50% of the music is official. The rest are free license songs, marked with an asterisk, most of them taking the place of character themes yet to be composed. In any scene with a character theme, you can freely shift at your choosing between placeholder and an official ambient song. So yes, as you can see, this is a demo, which means that it's not necessarily complete, but if, honestly, I'm gonna keep an eye on whether that Kickstarter gets started, honestly. Most of the current backgrounds are official, though a good portion are only line arts for now. A few of them are free license photos that have been slightly edited. Line arts and placeholders will be marked as such at the top of the screen on their first appearance. I will turn things down just a little bit so that way it isn't overwhelming. The map included in this demo is temporary and doesn't 100% coincide with the backgrounds made, as it was created before then as an outline. A new map will be produced once all the backgrounds have been completed. So yes, again, this is a demo. Beware that while the whole demo has been tested, it's possible that some mistake or bug got through, and some couldn't be solved yet. This is still a beta after all. In particular, we highly advise you to not use the Alt key as it causes issues in some cases. Don't worry, I'm not a keyboard user, we're good. Any constructive criticism, suggestions, help, or bug report are very welcome. The fact that they are openly, right off the bat, you can already tell that they are, trying to be as open as they can about this, that this is in fact a demo. Right off the bat, that's relatively good start right off the bat, being transparent with those that are trying out the demo. In other words, you guys get a bonus point immediately. Thanks for downloading the demo, and we hope you enjoy it. Oh, I certainly hope I enjoy it too. From that trailer, yeah. And with all that said, it's time to begin. Good music shift. Good job. Okay. Golden Jack Staff presents Project Don't cry. Everything will be all right. I promise. I'll try my best. Co-writer Deijo. Sometimes it'll be tough, but nothing lasts forever. Character artist, Celia De La Haye. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that, Celia. And that's why the good times also have to end. But we will meet again someday. Background artist, Goya Munoz. Remember, you are stronger than you think. Oh. Oh! Heat overwhelmed my senses. I could feel the sweat on my body. The sun was witness to the scene, but it wasn't the only one responsible for that state. Because stronger than the heat, I felt pain. It didn't seem to have an end. I couldn't even remember the origin anymore. I wanted to stop it. No. I had to stop it. Nice fade effect. Flashback artist, Matthew Copo. Or Copot. Copo. Logo design, Renderend. But the result remained the same. In my mind, those words appeared again. Words of support and hope, that in that moment only hurt more. But even then, I couldn't forget them. They had too much value. I had already forgotten his face, his voice, his name. I didn't want to lose any more. Composer Arsene 7750. Main theme by Alvaro Suarez. Executive producer Ardiel Suarez. Finally, it ended. I couldn't do anything, yet it ended anyways. That scene would repeat. It was inevitable, a cycle that changed each time, while remaining identical. Though, was it really inevitable? It is then that I realize, this is a dream. No, it's a recollection of the past that I wanted to leave behind. It's a nightmare. I had to go back to reality, to my new life. But what awaited me on the other side? Oops, that was a bit of an accident. Would make me regret waking up. Beyond R, Rule Ripper. Brr. Director and writer, Toriv. This story begins with a selfish wish, and most likely it will end with another one. Is that bad? I'm not in the position to judge. Though, in my humble opinion, maybe it is not. People! The lives of 10 people. 10 different worlds. Will they be the judge, the executioners, or the executed? Whatever the result may be, I will accept it. It's on their hands. I'm only an observer. Loathe me. Wish my death. Destroy the imposed chains. And find the answer to this farce. Do that and the true victory will be yours. No, your turn will come. But now, the hero makes his entrance. Alrighty then. Am I this hero? Do I have to go with a heroic voice? Maybe. We'll find out. His memories began to dissipate, replaced by the darkness. Look at my mouse. And from that darkness, a new reality started to take form. The rhythmical vibrations of symbols, the smell of alcohol, faraway voices. And as he opened his eyes, a new light. Oh my. Ugh. Ugh. Huh? Where? He surveyed his surroundings, trying to identify his location. Also, this chain thing, instead of having the normal line, having it be a chain, that's actually pretty cool. Also, this like little chain motif is really neat. I kind of like it. What is this place? A violet and blue-toned light covered the room, creating a nocturnal and cold feel, alluring, yet also slightly sinister. An illumination that fabricated a false darkness. The heavy air, charged with the smell of liquor and traces of tobacco smoke, called for a drink. From the speakers played a melody, adrift on the room's corners. An exchange between a fragile piano and a confident but subtle bass. Dissonant harmonies and irregular rhythms, intimate, broken, and without a clear course. There was no doubt. It was a bar. A high-class one. Yeah, a very nice-looking bar. Like, damn, I wish we had bars like this. Even though I don't naturally go to bars, I would still go in here just for the novelty of how nice it looks. As long as there was no heavy smoke, in which case I would have to wear a mask. I may have to wear a gas mask, sorry. Nearby his waking spot, an old man and a girl were sleeping on a sofa similar to his. Their faces completely foreign to him. Who? Who are these? He didn't recognize those faces, and the same could be okay, we got ourselves our first little typo, that's fine. It's easy, it's fine. Even in more professional visual novels, there's freaking typos. I'm pretty sure there was like 2 typos, or a couple typos whenever I was reading Dies Irae. Nothing too much to get worried about. But we found a typo, it's all good. Could be said for the place. Trying to look back through his hazy memories, recalling what he'd been doing before waking up, the only thing he could say for certain was that he hadn't gone to sleep. The last thing he remembered doing was getting back home. He arrived, and then... blank. He couldn't remember. Not being able to reach an answer, his attention shifted back to those people. He got up from the couch and slowly walked over to them. However, before he could get very close, he heard a voice behind him.
Hey, look, someone else got up.
Oh my lord, look at this man! Okay. Oh boy. He turned his head and found a man on top of the nearby stairs. Some disdain can be felt in his expression, or could be. Behind him, a few more people showed up, looking carefully at the boy. Distrust, intrigue, and some arched eyebrows were the group's reactions. He didn't know what to say. Instead of talking, he looked around again, confused.
Come closer. Come on.
With that said, the man turned around and went back with the others. Without giving it much thought, he went up the steps, reaching a much bigger area. Not too far away, he saw the bar's counter with the group he'd seen sitting on it, plus a few more. He quickly went up to them. He didn't wait for a greeting. Questions were piling up on his mind, and they needed to be let out. What is this place? What is this bar? Could somebody explain to me what's happening? First off, calm down, okay? Hello there, ma'am. Orange hair, ma'am. Red hair, ma'am. Ichigo's mom. What? Excuse me. It's just that... Yes, we know. We're all thinking the same thing.
Just take a seat and try chilling for a bit. You're not the only one confused here.
But I don't understand. Do none of you know why you're here? Bingo. Hello there. You seem a little bit more chipper. I like your hat. Bewildered, he sat down on one of the stools. Those people's demeanor felt very strange to him. They seemed calm, or at least composed. However, looking more closely, he could tell some of them were tense. So, if I understand this correctly, you all woke up here like I did?
Exactly.
A pretty Lioso place, don't you think?
I guess, but... You know, I look at you, and for some reason, you make me think of, what was that girl's name from Fooly Cooly? The crazy one. Actually, wait, no, not not the pyromaniac girl. The crazy lady from space. That one. The one that flew around. Fuck, what was her name? Damn it, can't remember. Before that, we should ask for his alias. Alias? My nickname? If you check inside your pockets, you should find a device like this one. I think you're more of the sophisticated type of voice. First off, you get bonus points because you got green eyes. I got green eyes, so you got bonus points. The man on the other side of the counter showed him for a brief moment what seemed like a phone, for enough time for him to see the back. It was black, with some letters he couldn't quite read. Try to turn it on, if you will. Following the man's instructions, he put his hand on his pocket, feeling an object quite unfamiliar to him. Ooh, hello. This? Oh, cool, has like a little menu thing, that's neat. Taking it out, he confirmed it was the same phone the man had shown him. This time he saw the back clearly, in which Barman could be read. He pushed the only button it had, and the screen turned on. Actually, okay, so this is still a thing. Okay, let's go ahead and turn up the message speed. There we go. Your name is Billiards. Billiards? What did you say? Billiards. Is that my alias?
Billiards, eh? Seems like the theme continues.
Theme?
See. The Knicks seem to have a shared theme.
Blonde reflections on her long hair and ashen blue on her eyes. On top of the counter, with her legs crossed and glass in hand, the girl seemed unconcerned. I think, okay, the fact that it's instant, let's just put that down just before. There we go. She intoned her words with the same leisure as the sips she was taking from her drink.
All Knicks seem to be things that could be in a bar like this one. I got lime.
Lime?
Maybe because my jokes are as strong as citric acid or something, I don't know. That's what some say about my sense of humor anyways.
Ah, I see. Lime, like the one you add to a drink. And billiards. Yeah, I guess it's a pretty common game in places like these.
Maybe it's not the best example, but trust me, you'll see it better with the other Knicks.
Wait a moment, before that. What are these aliases for? How did we get here?
That's what we all want to know too, but we know as much as you do.
Then how'd you know about this barman?
It's quite simple, actually.
We've been up here longer. We've been up longer. That's it.
As soon as a few of us woke up, it didn't take long for us to agree to use those nicknames. Just to be safe, you know.
Yeah, we're all strangers.
Whoa!
Fucking Kenzo! Tenma, what are you doing here? Fucking Dr. Tenma, what are you doing here? You're supposed to be a neurosurgeon. Why are you at a bar, my bro? Oh, you're probably on the run still from freaking Lunge. Of course, the inspector's probably chasing him right. I'm sorry, I need you to understand, I love this kind of design for some characters where they look kind of gruffy, and I love this design. It's one of my most favorite kind of character designs, okay? Just shut up. Exactly. Could be as dangerous to give our real names, as nobody seems to know anyone so far. In other words, we're a group of strangers. I'm sorry, if you expected me to give anybody but this guy the Michelle voice, come on. Billiards nodded, still trying to process the situation.
He was certain he knew none of them, and had no idea how he got there. The situation was quite strange indeed. There was no doubt that hiding any personal information was a good idea, for the time being. He was still surprised by how they seemed so calm with what was happening, though now it made a bit more sense. He had no idea how long they'd been waiting for him to wake up, but they probably had enough time to calm down. And on that topic, then the old man and the other girl. They were sleeping next to you, right? The woman tried to remember, with one hand on her chin and the other on the counter, while her dark and tired eyes faced the ceiling. Her long nails, dyed red, were tapping the counter, and in between the fingers lied a half-consumed cigarette with lipstick marks on its tip. Yes, now that you mentioned them, I saw the old man before. They should be on the same boat as us, so we'll have to wait for them to wake up. I'm Cigar, by the by.
Cigar, because you're smoking.
Cigar? Like a cigarette? Yes, can't say I'm fond of the name. Music sounds pretty good. But it is accurate. Oh, she was lighting a cigarette the entire time. Okay. With the same tiredness as in her voice, she brought the lighter's flame closer to the cigarette, fighting to stay ablaze. Was it a coincidence that as a smoker she'd been given that name? Highly unlikely, and that disturbed him further. Though there was something else that got his attention. That cigarette and the lighter. Are those yours? Maybe it's just me, but the only thing in my pockets was this phone, so it seems weird to me that... Oh, no, it was the same for all of us when we woke up. I found the lighter on top of a cigarette machine, and the cigarette, well, you can take a guess. But if you didn't have any money... The key was in. Don't try to tell me stealing is wrong when, as far as I can tell, we're all here against our will. If the one responsible isn't the owner, I can pay them back later. I guess so. Sure. Well, I mean... We are here against our will. So, yeah. I mean... If you suddenly find yourself locked in a scenario where you're in a place which technically has the resources to kind of, sort of, maybe keep you alive a little bit, there's nothing wrong with maybe just a little thievery if you're locked in there and you have no idea how to get out. I'm just assuming that they have no way to get out. They said they all woke up here, so I can only assume, or maybe they haven't even tried looking around for an escape yet. Or maybe they did. Fuck it, I don't know. We'll find out. Okay, so cigar and lime then. What about the rest? The man that had called him earlier placed a nearly empty glass, as there was some rum left on the counter. He then searched through the pockets on his shirt and pants, once again showing they were empty.
Shit.
He closed his fist tightly and hit his leg to vent off his frustration. Had he forgotten they were emptied out? Had he not checked until then? Or had he done it out of habit?
Fucking dependency. Can't even think straight. Bartender, pass me something strong. Don't care what it is.
Right away, sir.
Cigar, pass me the smoke, pronto.
You can get a new pack from the machine for free like I did.
Oh, come on, ma'am. If it's so free, why do you care? It's not like you'll use them all now, right?
Fine. Luckily, there were 2 lighters. Take the other. With a furrowed brow, Cigar extended her hand with the pack and lighter. I don't know how to English. As he grabbed one cigarette out and lit it, the man addressed billiards.
Poker.
Excuse me?
It's my alias, boy. A pleasure.
Hey, poker's much cooler than lime. No way, Jose.
What's poker without some luck?
As long as it's just luck and you aren't hiding any aces up the sleeves.
I'm not one for cheating.
Happy to hear.
If we get the chance, it'd be nice to play against you.
Absolutely. I'd never say no to a good challenge.
Excuse me, but... Ah, my bad, my bad. I guess you would want to hear my alias, right? Yes, that'd be good. I'm Gin. As in, Gin Tonic, not Jim. Oh, Gin and Tonic, right. Oh, Gin and Tonic! Oh my god! And also, not as in Genie. I don't do wishes. Oh, Gin. God fucking Gin Tonic. Gin! Gin! I see. Gin is in the drink. The one made with juniper, right? Gin is already way too weird, dude. Don't make it worse calling me Juniper. Sorry. It really is true, though, that what you were saying about the theming, it's all related to the bar. Can't complain too much. At least there's lots of drinks. With a smile and waving an empty glass in the air, ice cubes resonating within the container, Gin put her keen sights on the man in the counter. Cocktail! Hey, get me another one! Right ahead. Bill observed him and his mannerisms. Also, shorting my name to Bill, not bad. Dry and stoic, responding politely to the others, seemingly used to serving drinks. The skill in his hands and his control over the bottles was also quite remarkable. Wait, did you say cocktail? Affirmative. A cocktail is the alias I have received. Oh. Your name is Cocktail. Interesting. Seems like you're good at handling drinks. Indeed. I have some experience on the matter. I'd say it's more than just some. Also, inner thoughts. If you are in need, I can make you any drink. I think I'm fine. Thanks.
Come on, don't be shy. It's in times like these where drinking is justified. After all, alcohol fuels the flame inside our hearts.
What? Ignore him. He already sounds drunk.
Nah, that's just how I roll. You need way more than this to waste me, I assure you.
And you are? My pseudonym is Dots. The looks on the guy were quite curious. In fact, Bill couldn't find the right words to describe him. While his eye bags showed weariness, his gaze was vibrant. Darts. All right. I find it very fitting, I have to say. Why? Now's not the appropriate time to go into details. Maybe at some other point. Okay, so then it's cigar, lime, poker, gin, cocktail, and darts. His eye suddenly sighted a seventh person that he hadn't noticed until then. A kid of around 11 or 12 years old was sitting on the stool behind Darts. He hadn't said a single word since he got here. Oh boy, or got there. We got a fucking kid in the bar. That's not good. We got to keep the children away from the bars. It is not good for their health. It is also it is a very bad influence for the children to be near alcohol. I don't know why I suddenly splashed at your German fuck. I need to get myself a cup of tea. Billiards leaned into the counter to get a better look at him. Their glances crossed for an instant. And you are? The boy gazed at Billiards briefly, seemingly judging him. And once he was done with his quick observation, lowered his face, clearly distrustful, and answered. Piano. Huh? My nickname's Piano. I see. Is he okay? Looks angry. I'd understand if he was after waking up here with no explanation, but we're not the ones he should be mad at. Though, to be fair, at his age it makes sense. Though I didn't act like that as a kid. Trying to be lenient, he decided to leave it at that. Someone else, however, thought differently. You could try being a little more friendly, you know. No. Billiards? Hey, Billiardo! A hand touched his shoulder. What? Oh, right. I'm Billiards. Sorry. I haven't gotten used to that name yet. No pasa nada. You aren't alone. I
am butchering the pronunciations. I'm so sorry.
What was I gonna say? Oh yeah! Don't you think your namey is just a tiny bitty too longy?
Actually, yeah, now that you mention it, billiard doesn't roll off the tongue too well.
Exactly! And so, because of that, I hereby propose that you be renamed. Insert drum roll here. Bill. How's that? Almost sounds like a real name and everything.
I mean, it is, but sure, sounds good, I guess. You can all call me Bill. It's probably going to be much easier to get used to than billiards.
Great, then I, Line, baptize you as Bill. Amen.
The now called Bill then remembered the two people still slumbering, the girl and the old man. By the way, shouldn't we check on the other two?
You mean the old guy?
The group decided to get up and peek at the lower couch area where he'd woke up. The old man's head was visible above the back of one of the couches. However, in front, where the girl should have been, was no one. You said there was a girl. I only see the grandpa. Bill went down the steps and up to the couches. The girl had indeed disappeared. Confused, he started to search around for any trace of her. The old man's eyebrows then began to move while trying to open his eyes. Ah! Oh. Bill looked at him. The man put his hand on his nape and started to massage its tired muscles, then rubbed his eyelids and looked back at the bewildered boy. Finally, before talking, he licked his dry lips. Saint Peter, is it you? What? This is heaven, no? From the higher area, the rest of the group, paying attention to what was happening, started to murmur. Some laughs could be heard. The old man turned around to the origin of the voice. Wasn't expecting to find a bar up here. Better than expected. If we get a drink, that is. Unfortunately for us all, this doesn't seem to be a paradise whatsoever.
It's not though. Being a bar, it's probably more like purgatory, if you know what I mean.
Please, sir, come over here. We will try to explain as best as we can.
The old man got up with some struggle and looked at Bill one more time before leaving with the rest. It was then that Bill remembered he still hadn't found the girl. He turned his head towards the nearby tables. On one of them, sitting on a chair examining a barman, just like his, was the girl. Hi? Hey. Excuse me. Hi. Her eyes didn't react to the greeting. She kept staring at her barman's screen. Did she not hear me? Could she be deaf? Hello? Can you hear me? What do you want? Oh, I thought you couldn't hear me. With the suspicion of deafness out, Bill could only think of one other explanation for the lack of a response. She's just ignoring me, is she? I see you also have a barman. You have an alias too, right? Mine is Bill. Well, actually, it's billiards. And yours? Coffee. Oh, I like you already. I mean, nothing to do with the fuck you. Coffee. What? Fuck, I didn't say anything. You're imagining things. Coffee.
Line? Yo, Billy, my man, my dude, what's up? Came to see what you're up to. I see you got a new friend. Hey, Houston, Earth to Bill, man.
Lime waved enthusiastically at Coffee, but she didn't get anything more than a slight head movement of unknown meaning in response.
The others will want to meet her, so come with me to the counter and beyond. Andiamo!
With that, Lime went back to the counter shouting.
Hey guys, it's coffee time!
What's wrong with her? Let's go? Without a word, the Without a word, the girl got up and headed to the counter. He did the same, following behind. Alright, let's get a little bit more info. Gymnopode number 1.
Oh, you're correct. It turned on. See, my personal war with these gadgets has been long-standing, albeit this one is easy to use. Not long ago, I bought one of these mobile telephones, you know.
Wait. Hold on. Hold on. This music.
I recognize it.
I recognize it. It's a very pleasant tune.
I'm still learning, though. You can't ask too much of somebody my age.
Fascinating. Please stop your war stories and respond, Gazer. What does it say on the screen?
Let's take a look. Ah! This thing knows me well. It says vodka.
Vodka,
Lots and lots of it did I drink when I was a youngster.
Together we would make a good cocktail.
No doubt. I can prepare it if you so wish.
Maybe later. Before we start drinking, it'd be nice to know why we're here.
We should already have all the pseudonyms, no?
What? Wait, I still don't get why it says vodka here. This ain't a bottle. I can't drink it.
That's your name for now. Unless you'd like to tell us your real one.
I may be old, but not dumb. If there's a code name, it must be for something. Trust me on this.
Gramps doesn't fool around.
Thanks. Well, now what? What is this for?
All of them had introduced themselves. More or less. The big question reappeared. Yes, we need answers. Somebody must have brought us here. A kidnapping!
Kidnapping? What for? I'd be the winning party there if the kidnapper takes care of me. The access to this bar already makes it A-okay for me.
Don't say such things. I'm sure your family must be very worried right now.
Bah!
Is your relationship with them that bad?
Ha!
Is that a yes? According to my calculations, I would hypothesize with a margin of error that it may, or may not, be a yes. But only if maybe, or yes, perhaps, sometimes? Well, I think she's lost it completely. That didn't take long. You can't lose what you never had. That's my secret. Copyrighted, don't steal it.
Fucking hell, okay.
I just want to know what you're on. For research and preservation. All natural, baby.
This really isn't the right time for this. This has to be a kidnapping, right? Somebody put us asleep and locked us up in this abandoned bar, right? Silence filled the room for a few seconds. Although he understood that most of them had been awake for longer, it still felt strange that they had accepted it so rapidly. There was a piece missing, an important piece to understand the situation, and that was Cosmos Enigma.
No, you got one thing wrong. That's what we assumed when we woke up. That's what you'd expect in this kind of scenario, if it's even something you can expect. And yet, while it looks like we were captured and carried here somehow.
Poker looked at what seemed to be the only entrance and exit of the bar.
We checked the door and it's open. We aren't locked up here.
Really? However, that doesn't mean we can get outside. If we go out and explore, we could run into closed doors. Wait. The door isn't locked, but you didn't go out? Some insisted on doing so, but I convinced them against it until all of us woke up. In a situation like this one, not taking any hasty decisions is key. Smart on you, Cocktail. In my personal opinion, I kind of agree with Cocktail on this one. You gotta always be prepared, and the more people you have, the better. And now that we're all here, it's time to see what awaits us outside this bar. Ah! Not even going to let me have one sip before we leave? What if we need a designated driver? Well, I can serve you a drink if you wish. But... not now. I'd like to get out of here as soon as possible.
Well, go right ahead if you want. Nobody's gonna stop you.
No, we must stay. Is that coffee? I'm going to assume it's coffee. It was then that the conversation took a different path. A path that had no way back. They all turned towards the new voice? Oh, it was coffee. Projected shadows. You should check the rules. Coffee, who had until then remained invisible, gained the attention of everyone present, her gaze still focused on the barman. What? The what? Oh yeah, this thing contains something. Gin raised her barman high to call everyone's attention. Probably something related to our situation. We decided to wait until we were all together before checking anything. Let's see, the cocktail's talking right now, so, another reason for why we chose to remain here.
But somebody seems to have jumped the gun. Well, might as well check before we go out. Let's see what are these so-called rules.
I have a bad feeling about this. Alright, let's see the rules. Your name is Billiards. Nervous, Bill turned on the barman once more. Again, that presentation screen with the name Billiards appeared. He didn't want to follow orders coming from such a shady object, but if he wanted to find out what was going on, he had to touch the screen. Trying to relax, he took a deep breath, and... the game will not begin until all players have read the core rules. Until then, all other barman functions will be locked. Okay. Rules, data, council, messages, link, and notes. I see. After touching the screen, the name disappeared and was replaced by a message. And indeed, there were several menus, though only the first one was unlocked. Rules. Oh, because it's oh, I see. So whenever it's like this color, that means it's unlocked. But if it's black, it's locked. Okay. More and more, Bill was sure it couldn't be anything good, but to find out what it all meant, he had no choice. Okay. Oh, whoa. I didn't get a chance to read those. The rules appeared alongside a message on top of them. The greeting message from their kidnapper. Oh boy. Welcome to the Golden Jack. You have been chosen to play a game. Your bodies have been poisoned. It's a slow poison. If you win the game, you will receive the antidote. If you want to come out alive, you'll have to partake. My motives are irrelevant to you. If you want revenge, first you'll have to win. Also, hold on, just get a good listen here. Good music. From now on, you are chained to my rules, and you yourselves will become those rules. What? These rules will be your shackles, but also your weapons. Break them and you'll be set free. It's likely you'll want to evade reality. This is a dream. This is a joke. This isn't for real. You're free to think so.
In an hour, you'll feel the first symptoms of the poison. It'll be then when you'll have to make a choice. Otherwise, it'll be the end. Be strong. Find your allies. Defeat your enemies. And see what lies beyond. From the very bottom of my being, I await a good game. The owner.
Okay, here we go. Oh. Everyone fell completely silent, staring at their screens, some reading, while others were still trying to understand what was happening. I kind of want to read all of these, but we'll go through the dialogue first, and then I'll read the rules. Players must take part in the game following the rules. Oh, okay, never mind. It's just going to go over them. Good, good. All players have been poisoned. The poison will take effect in 1 hour and 5 minutes from the start of the game. But after an hour antidotes that delay death, 1 hour will be distributed. Antidotes that will delay death for one hour will be distributed? Really? Oh! It just clued in! That's why they chose an hour and 5 minutes. After the first hour, we literally have 5 minutes to get the antidotes. But what happens in the... Let's see. Each player has a specific antidote and others won't have an effect. If an antidote is broken, falls to the floor, or is drunk by the wrong player, be it accidental or deliberate, it shall be replaced. If a player breaks a rule or is eliminated for any other reason, that player won't receive their antidote. So, rules. Okay. When the game is won, an antidote that completely removes the poison shall be awarded. To Bill, and probably everyone else, it felt like he was alone in that room. Like the entire world around him had stopped existing, with the exception of those words. Would anyone mind discussing this together? I think it would help to understand the situation if we talked about it. Cocktail broke the silence with an appeased tone, trying to maintain peace. The world returned and Bill was thrown out of his trance, not even remembering if he had been breathing. Poker frowned. The calmness he had shown until then was gone. In general, all seemed to have been affected to some degree.
Yeah, sounds good. What do y'all think about this whole mess?
This is ridiculous. The door is open. I'm not taking part in this. It's like one of those horror films, but they left the door open. We can just leave, right?
What's the point of kidnapping us if it's optional? Well, this doesn't read like it's optional, but...
No, it's obviously not optional. Running away isn't an option.
Why not?
The poison. Assuming it's real, it will kill us if we set foot outside.
Not if we look for help. If we find a hospital or...
If someone put in as much effort setting up this shit, if it's really not some fucked up, hidden camera joke, they should be smart enough to make sure the poison ain't easy to get rid of. Those who saw what was on the other side of that door with me know what I'm talking about.
What's on the other side? Okay. Darts mentioned something about potential doors. Maybe there's other doors on the outside?
A corridor. We ain't getting out of here just by getting off this bar.
Okay, so even if we did get out the exit, there's like a corridor we have to go through, which means there's some particular pathway we would have to take if we're doing this right.
And even though this door is open, the one leading outside might not. In fact, I would bet it's not.
There must be some windows in this building. I'm not very athletic, so maybe it's not the best idea, but if that's the only choice we have...
As far as this bar is concerned, I still haven't seen a single window around. But if we find any outside the bar, sure, that'd be an option, as long as we aren't too high up. Even if you were the world champion of Olympic jumping, you'd still die if you fell like 10 floors plus. Those of you that can climb walls, superhero style, are in luck. Meanwhile, the rest of us mortals are quite screwed. They couldn't be sure until they checked. Although being too hopeful wasn't a good idea either. And there was one detail that hadn't been brought up yet. It made perfect sense to not want to participate in a game after being placed there against their will, but they had already made the following two assumptions. 1. The poison was real, and much more critically, 2. That game would be the one they would not want to play. In other words, it wouldn't be an innocent game to enjoy, and then simply leave after its conclusion. Not just because of the poison. Anyone could tell what type of game it was. This was precisely the reason why the poison was needed. To force them to play. Realizing both points, Bill immediately spoke up about the first. Wait! Oh. There's the asterisk. Have we really been poisoned? As this clearly states, we can't really make sure for now.
If we could do that, we'd just say fuck this game and just focus on getting out of here.
And that's the crux of the matter. If it's true, we have to wait an hour.
I mean, one of us falls flat on the ground and it's confirmed as heck.
You're being nonchalant about this. Then again, you know. Many doctors in the room. Poison expert required over here. The cold silence of their companions made Lyman Vodka aware that it wasn't the time for humor.
It's not the time for human. There's no humans here. We are locked with poison.
I apologize immensely. The young woman and the old man shared a resigned look.
Well, let's just keep reading for the time being. Nothing wrong with that. We can worry about that poison folly later.
Yeah, I was hoping we could read the rest of the rules. Let's see. Because I can't seem to access it myself, so...
Exactly. Let's look at all the cards before we play.
To play, a barman device is required, of which there is one for each player that can only be used by that player. Under no circumstances can a player look intentionally at the screen of another barman turned on, or make someone look at their own. Breaking any barman is also forbidden. So, we're not allowed to look at each other's phones? Or whatever they are? Barmans. Interesting. So, that raises a horrifying idea. What if somebody was forced to look at somebody's barman? That would be considered rule breaking, right? Oh dear.
Each player has a numbered rule associated with them. Players can break that rule without penalty or limit. A link between two players can allow the infringement of the partner's rule. Interesting.
So wait, we each have a rule we are technically allowed to break? Interesting! Ooh! This spices things up a little bit. Now it adds like a layer of mystery. Like, I bet you we're not allowed to reveal what rule we are allowed to break. That allows me to kind of try to suss out and try to figure out whose rules are breakable. Or, like, who's allowed to break a rule. And what rule it is. Interesting. Now you want to play?
Nah, but under less criminal circumstances, maybe I would. A game where each player is different from the rest is a pretty appealing concept.
Right. You have to follow all the rules except your own. That automatically gives each player unique advantages and disadvantages. Though it also mentions some link stuff.
I swear to God, if it means something about Yu-Gi-Oh!, I lost it whenever we got to Synchros, okay? I can't even wrap my head around the Xyz.
What the hell are you talking about?
Sorry. Kind of a, young kid self here. I'm guessing it'll come up later.
How can they talk about these rules so naturally? What's wrong with them?
Huh? But where's that rules screen at?
I'd say will appear after this. We shouldn't rush. If a player dies, the associated rule will be removed from the game permanently.
What?
I see. As I presumed.
an incentive to eliminate others. The fewer there are, the more freedom for the remainders.
Yeah, I see. There's motivation. That's not good.
Depending on what the rules are, the game could open up a lot.
The way he spoke made it sound like a simple game. The fewer there are? What that actually meant was clear. The second supposition they had made, that it wasn't a mere game. But he had avoided using words that, at that moment, were starting to turn taboo. Nobody could tell if he had done so knowingly, or if in his head that really was just a game.
At 45 at every hour, all players present in the Golden Jack will have to participate in a council where they will have to debate in order to find the rule number of the other players and use accusations to eliminate them. Oh, debates! Sounds intense.
Oh god, I suck at debates!
So basically, the goal is to find out the other's number to get them out of the game.
Oh, okay, so it's not so much a mystery now, it's just going to... the story will technically tell me, but I still have to try to figure it out. Okay.
Sounds easy enough. Yes, but remember, according to what we learned earlier, each number is associated with, a rule.
Then...
Indeed. With each elimination, the game can change drastically. I see. So those are the consequences for putting an end to a player.
Dart's got several stares for his seemingly uncaring attitude, though he didn't seem to care. No player can leave a council until it has been declared finished. To unveil the rule that each player possesses, help in the form of data, information, and the numbers that apply to it, has been distributed among players, as well as hints hidden throughout the play area to connect the data with the player. And finally, the most important part. The last base rule of the game, which confirmed their fears. The game will continue until 3 or less players remain alive. Until then, nobody can exit the building. That bar was in truth a jail cell. Even with its door open, they hadn't seen what lied beyond the Golden Jack. Yet now, even that ordinary place resembled something completely different. A joint cell that would demand for sacrifices.
And there it is. Didn't like a single bit how this was all written, but now there's no doubt.
A deadly game, eh? Lucky of you all to have me here. You can get rid of me with no regrets. Enough years on my back.
Vodka, you shouldn't be saying that about your life, my dude.
Or I suppose I'm the lucky one. I have much fewer years of life at stake.
Not funny anymore.
That wasn't meant as a joke. I mean, at my age, it's hard to take anything seriously. When you reach it, you'll understand. Well, if you do, that is.
The previous looks that Darts had received were trivial next to what the old man got. Albeit, the feeling they gave off were different. It was a serious matter, and that dark humor could only dishearten them. He's so flippant about his own life. Like, man.
All right. I admit that was too much. You don't need to listen to me. Put on some smiles, though. This isn't a funeral. Not yet, anyways.
Whatever you say, old fart.
Hey, I'm on Grandpa's side. A bit. A sense of humor is important, especially in moments like these. Just not that sort of humor. Not my type, sorry.
Well, at least the one behind this one had the great benevolence to let 3 of us survive. I'm sure they thought they were doing us a great favor. How generous of them.
It was true that in such games, the worst case scenario was for only one person to retain their life. Or none.
I like this! This is an interesting concept. But, damn. In a way, we're still gonna have to try to sentence somebody to death by sussing out what their rule is. Damn! That's... Oh man, that's awful. But it looks like I really have to pay attention to this. Ooh.
Even so, they couldn't get their heads around who would be capable and willing of creating such a game. Bill wanted to say something, to throw out all the frustration that had taken a hold of him, but words didn't come out. What could he say to change the situation?
Whoever's behind this shit must be really fucked in the head.
Yeah, right? And people call me weird.
Lime's intentions were all well-meaning, though not effective. They were just a curtain trying to hide away reality, to avoid panic and alleviate their minds. But they couldn't close their eyes for long. He took a deep breath and tried to relax first.
Then we have to play this no matter what?
No. Finally, he took action. Even though we are strangers, we shouldn't participate in something that involves killing each other. We can't. Trying not to think about it, the word kill spewed out of him, as if he had tried to get it out of his head. He didn't want to imagine how things would end up if the situation got out of hand. On the surface, the 9 people with him didn't seem dangerous. They were victims just like him. Some more peculiar than others, but no one had the eyes of a killer. At least, that's what he felt. And that's how he wanted it to remain. If our lives are in danger, our only option is to play. I won't lay still waiting for my death. I know, I'm not saying we should give up. It's the opposite. We have to survive, but we can't lose our humanity in the process. Unfortunately, those words stuck to his throat for a few moments, letting someone else intervene. Let's not get heated, please. We still haven't fully read all that this game entails.
Exactly, chill. We still haven't gotten to the rules. Last thing we need is to break one by accident.
If we haven't done that yet, of course. A chill ran through Bill's back. One of the many he had been having, but perhaps the biggest one yet. Carried away by the events and his emotions, he'd forgotten something so obvious, or more likely, it hadn't even gone through his head. Without any further delay, everyone touched their screens and the rules appeared. Okay. A list of 10 rules, and before he could read them, Bill heard their voices.
So, ours is the one marked, yeah?
Seems so.
Yikes! This is way too much stuff all at once.
Oh, Mama, oh, Papa, we goofed and we planked. What?
I see. Bill looked at the list, but...
Huh? None of them were marked. He didn't see any marks. What was supposed to indicate which one was his rule? Did he have to ask the others for help? For some reason, he couldn't bring himself to do it. Okay, let me look at some of these rules here. Intended killing is forbidden, except with an accusal or being the spy. You must remain inside the Golden Jack. Actually, it's probably going to go over them too. Maybe his device is broken, or perhaps there's some meaning behind it. If that was the case, sharing with everyone was dangerous, as it would put him at a disadvantage. What if... What if he's the spy? I say that because I see the term spy. And there was nothing in the earlier rules that stated anything about a spy. So, that just tells me that this main character that I'm playing through might actually be an unknowing spy. After all, intended killing is forbidden, except if with an accusal or being the spy. Which means my character might actually have the ability with intended killing. It's not forbidden. So, maybe that's it. As soon as he thought that, his mind slammed on the brakes. Had he just unconsciously and against his wishes, his brain had started to play that game, and he couldn't erase those thoughts from his head? Better off not saying anything for now. Before anything else, I should read them. Mind Dive. One by one, he read the 10 rules in the middle of that silence that had formed while everyone did the same. All rules had their value. However, 5 of them were especially notable. The first 4, and the 9th.
Oof, I'm lost as heck right now. Anyone got the recap?
Oh, probably. Oops. I believe it would be beneficial for us all if we discuss it openly. Right. It's important that we all understand what we're dealing with.
The first rule seems like a good summary.
1. Intended killing is forbidden except with an accusal or being the spy.
So we can't just go butcher someone, yeah?
That's a good rule. It keeps us safe.
More like it restricts the killer to one role to one person. The player in possession of that rule can break it without being eliminated. Don't forget that.
Several looks of suspicion flew across the room. Trying to calm things down, someone slightly changed the subject.
What's that to talk about a spy? Are we back to the Cold War? Oh god, am I gonna have to get my helmet and run to the trenches?
No, Grandpa, that's the wrong one.
Oh, god damn it!
We're already on the 21st century, Gramps. Good question, though. No clue what that's about.
Haha, we have a spy! Word I can't read.
That's explained later on. What seems clear is that the easiest way for us to eliminate anyone is with those accusals. I'm imagining accusal is where they have to accuse somebody of being the specific rule. I'm assuming. Oh boy! And they each have a rule they can break.
Exactly. Only one person can go to the violent route, but if they die, that path becomes available to all of us.
Everything was getting more and more bizarre by the second. A bunch of strangers were calmly talking about eliminating each other. Bill could not understand. Perhaps those people had been chosen for the game precisely because of their easy acceptance of it. But in that case, why was he included?
But wait, if only one can kill, how is this game fair?
By using accusations. It's explained in the council menu.
Basically, if enough people know somebody's number, they can get an accusal started and vote them. And if they get it right, that person's antidote's taken out.
Then, let's say, for example, I start an accusation against 4. Everyone would get a message saying something like, number 4 is on the ropes. Make them pay. That was way too cringy.
It wasn't cringy, honestly. I liked it.
Forget the example. That's not the important part.
We would all get the memo, and then we would write the name of the player we think has Rule 4. In your case, like for example, darts.
Is that an accusation?
No clue. Should it?
I don't think that...
Channel your inner key, people. Enter Nirvana with me. Let's go.
What the fuck?
1, 2, 3. Done. Calm now. I'm calm. Yep. We can just not vote, right?
Yeah, abstaining. A blank vote.
And that could have consequences. As expected, if someone's number was found out, their life would be put in danger.
Okay, I think I'm getting it now. I got a question about the next one. 2, you must remain inside the Golden Jack. Golden Jack is this bar, right?
Didn't you say you opened the door?
Yes, but we didn't go out. It doesn't count, right? Right?
Let's hope. Didn't even open it all the way.
Nobody stepped outside. We should be safe.
Okay, good. Okay, clarification. The door was open, but nobody stepped outside. That technically didn't violate the rule. I think. If it did, that's bullshit. Because they didn't technically leave. Opening the door does not count as leaving. Waiting was the right call.
Then we are trapped in here. Man.
All but one, to be precise.
Let's hope they don't abandon us.
As long as they leave the drinks here, I'm good. Fuck, I don't give a shit. I'm just wanting to get drunk, blank bitches. Why are you all looking at me like that?
The other rules said we couldn't get off the building. So, I doubt it.
Even so, that person could go out, investigate, and tell us what they found.
That would reveal their rule, ergo their number. Nobody is that stupid.
Okay, calm down, young man. It was just an idea.
Sure, if someone wants to be the noble sacrifice, they are welcome. But like I said, doubt it.
Relax. We can get to those things later. I think the third one is the most dangerous right now. 3. In each council, one player will have to say their number publicly. Lying is allowed, but without repeating a number until all have been declared. If a lie is proven, the real number will have to be given. Okay. In each council, one player will have to say their number publicly. Okay, but they are allowed to lie about their number. But without repeating a number. Until all have been declared. Okay. That is pretty dangerous. The first two could be considered reasonable, in comparison anyways.
Oh yeah, that one did me good. They telling us to do some sacrificial rituals?
That's a very extreme way to look at it, but I can't deny that's how it seems. It depends on what you consider prove. So, in essence, each of these councils, one person has to take that risk so everyone can survive until all of us have done it after 10 hours. One person has to take that risk so everyone can survive. Whew. Fuck, that's rough.
Still, how do they expect us to do it? Nobody will take that risk, and we will all break that rule.
But only the person holding that rule would be forgiven, which would make them the only survivor.
We have to stop that. If we agree on an order and follow it...
Yeah, sure, good luck with that.
It's the only way to...
Be the first, then.
He didn't know how to respond to that. Maybe he really had to be the first, so the rest would follow him, but even with that in mind, it was a hard call to make. It was the classic prisoner's dilemma. Someone had to take a risk for the well-being of others, but if nobody took it, all would be punished. Good idea bringing up prisoner's dilemma. All the voices stopped until...
Number 4 is also important.
Once again, she chimed in when everyone had already forgotten her presence. Good. Thank you, Coffee. True. 4. If the game continues after 10 hours have passed, players will have to end it immediately with their suicide. Fuck!
A 10-hour time limit, essentially.
And what a way to express it, man.
Well, that makes sense. That way we aren't stuck here forever.
I just realized we have a 12-year-old child. I have to potentially kill one. No, just the idea of killing anybody. Fuck. I like this premise. That's only if we can get through Rule 3. In comparison, 4 isn't as imminent. Still, we have to hurry. We have to find a way out. 10 hours should be enough time to investigate and find the exit. In a corner of the screen, as was standard, the time appeared 25. When they had awakened, it had to have been 10 o'clock. At least that's how it seemed. But it was suspicious that they had woken up right as the day started. They didn't know how much had passed since their abduction, so the time was possible. Or it could just be a timer, counting the time since the start of the game.
As long as Rule 2 exists, we can't look for an exit.
Those could be considered the 4 main rules. A player elimination method restriction, and spatial restriction, an hourly danger, and a time restriction. There was another imperative rule though. However, Rule 9 also worries me. At the start of every hour, each player will be assigned a secret objective that has to be completed before the next one without being discovered. Okay!
Oh yeah, even more stuff, just what we needed. For real though, why play this when you have elegant and beautifully simple games like good old rock, paper, scissors? What? I'm just saying, if they have to make us play something, at least make it simple, like paper, scissors, or rock. Nothing beats scissors, rock, paper. Wait, what? I'm just going to ignore all that stuff at the end. Okay. If rules will go down with time, it makes sense it's so complex. Otherwise, it might actually end up being more basic than rock, paper, scissors. I don't think it would go that far, but yes, I guess that makes some sense. So that's the recap, yeah?
More or less, but read all of it later. At least don't be lazy.
Okay!
But there's something really intriguing. Rule 10 mentions a spy mode, which appears in one of the menus, and only that rule can use. But it doesn't seem to be explained anywhere.
Oh my! The spy strikes back! Electric Boogaloo!
You are the most airheaded out of the group.
That's true. The first one also mentioned a spy.
Nobody seemed to have the answer for that mystery, so the conversation ended there.
My head hurts because of all this nonsense. Ah, wait! It's the usual!
Well, at least we can check them whenever we want.
There's still a ton of stuff not cleared, but all that info should be in here too. I hope.
Even with doubt still in the air, those are the main rules. That was the game they had been shut in. He had to examine the other options inside the so-called barman in depth. He had to know his enemy well. That game.
Oh, too complicated. So many numbers. Can we just play Una?
Una? Don't you mean Uno?
Oh yeah, wait, you don't know Una?
I may be old, but I do know that much Spanish. Look, I can count. Una, dos, tres, etc., etc.
Molto bien, you passed.
¿Por qué?
Complaining is pointless. All the pieces have been laid on the board. Those who continue to look away will fall first.
I'm still not so sure. But as long as the poison can be real, we have no choice but to follow the rules.
Squeaking shackles.
And if we confirm it's real, we'll have to play.
He looked all around, at the faces of his alleged opponents. They were all sort of expressions. Some smiling with no worry to be found. Some with a confident grin. Some confused. Or not taking it seriously. Others staring at their barman's screen. With sweat drops on their forehead. Or faces that wanted to scream to escape that place. Even if he didn't know his number yet, the rest probably did if he was the only case. What was each number thinking? Some could already be planning something. the number wasn't his priority. The young man assigned the name Billiard saw things differently. That situation, typical of a horror movie, was a one-way road with a dead end. Literally. If they let fear carry them, they themselves would cause that end, and the criminal behind it all would be the winner. Who was the culprit? What were their motives? Why them? Those weren't the questions he wanted to solve. He wasn't a detective, and had no plans to become one. They had a life to continue, waiting for them outside, in the world they had lived until then. A world full of hardships, but that, even in its worst times, wasn't as sinister as that game in front of them. He would return alive, and it wouldn't be alone or with any sacrifice. He wouldn't lower himself to becoming a murderer. They had to escape somehow. That was the only option. Before it was too late. Before number one made a move. Luckily, only that person was an impending threat. However, while they were relatively safe as long as Rule 1 lived, that only prolonged their lives for 10 hours. When Rule 4, if not stopped, would terminate them. Hey, that's what I looked like! No matter what happened, even if they were strangers, he would not let anyone die. And if necessary, beyond R, Rule Ripper.